I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
I haven't seen the sun in a week and a half. Hey, look! It just came out! Hey, look at that! I love it!
And we are live once again for another installment of After Hours with the Whack Pack. I'm Dave Palumbo. It is my privilege to do a very special show for you guys today. So let's bring in the Whack Pack. And we're joined also today by my sister, Nicole, who you guys have seen just recently. We did a little video together at my friend's spa where we got a bunch of spa treatments. I think my sister, Nicole, did you get like every spa treatment that day?
They just kept giving them to me. I said, no, we're good. We're good. No, we have to do this. We have to do that. I said, I was going to say no. Then I had something on my stomach and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right, whatever.
John, have you seen this technique they do where they do micro needling where they have this like, it's like a gun that shoots these needles into your face.
Phenomenal.
Valerie gets it done every, I don't know.
Oh, she does.
She does everything. And she drags me in. I got to get Botox. It's like it's inescapable.
So we should fly her in, and she can go with my sister up to the.
Oh
spot.
my God, there would be like two peas in a pod with that.
You may not believe this, but this is all natural. No Botox.
I figured that's Italian grease.
Although hair coloring, yes, I do color the grays.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear?
I don't put anything in. I just get the needling and the things that produce my own natural stuff. So I love this place because they are phenomenal at what they do. Phenomenal.
I was just kidding. I break your brother's balls.
How effective do you think it is?
Actually, we should bring Greg over there, and we should have him get a bunch of treatments. It would probably.
You're gonna get the belt sander out when he comes.
No, my brother would go.
Yeah, oh, you're right.
Would.
He had a weight loss cocktail to
He could get a Brazilian butt lift with all that freaking blood on his guy.
Well, there you go. Hey, in the interest of time, because I really I only have limited time with you guys today.
Yes.
I do readings, and it started when I was really young.
Yeah, tell them the history. Yeah, that's good.
I'll tell you. I don't even think I ever told you this, David, but when we were, I was coming back from an overnight at camp, which was, an emotional roller coaster for my mother because she always thought something was going to happen. And she picked me up from camp, and it was the year before she got sick. And I looked at her in the car and I said to her, Mommy, look, by the way, I was only like 9. And I said, Mommy, are you okay? What's wrong? She goes, no, I'm fine. I go, no. What's wrong? Something's wrong. And I don't know if I ever even told you this, David. And literally, she looked at me and I just knew something was wrong.
Right.
And I don't want to say I knew she was going to die because I don't know when people are going to die, but I know when things look murky and they don't look good. But when you're 9 years old, how do you process that, right? How do you put that together? And so with that said, as the years progressed, I just knew things. And, there's no one to talk to about it. So you just kind of like, okay, I know things. And then one day, my brother was out and we were sitting down for dinner and my father was like, where's your brother? He's like, he knows what time we eat or whatever he was saying. He was in one of his moods. And I turned to him and I said, yeah, he was just in a car accident with Roy, but they're fine. And he'll be coming in any minute now. So my father drops the fork and starts yelling at me. Why would you say such a thing? Well, 30 seconds later, David comes in the door. He goes, you're never going to be able to believe what happened. We got into a car accident with Roy. My father almost passed out on the floor. Poor David didn't know what the hell was going on. He's like, what happened? So that's where it really started.
So wait, does that make you like a psychic or a medium or what are you exactly?
Yeah. So I like to say intuitive, right? Because I could speak to anybody. So it's like when I go out, and the older I get, by the way, the more intense it is. Like I could be in a restaurant and if someone's very open, I can read them or get a visit from someone that's trying to connect with them. And John, it's interesting that you're asking this question because I'm going to tell you why. Because the minute I knew we were going to do this, and I know you, John, but I don't know you. You know what I mean? We've met. Right. I don't know your deep dark secrets. And I will keep this level. And if you want to, and if anyone wants to talk to me after this, that's fine because I don't want to share your life on the show.
I know a few of John's deep dark secrets. I just want to say.
That's good. You might be learning more today.
Greg is one of my deep dark.
So one of the things for you, John, that came up, and it came up really strongly, was you had, and by the way, I don't want to say this and then have, your wife be like, I'm not his one true love, because that's not what this means. So when I say that you had a one true love, and she was in a very broken place when you were with her.
Oh my God, I already know. You're so dead on already. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about, John. I know who she's talking about.
Let her talk.
Interesting, because she wants you to know, John, that the fact that it was broken was not because of you. It was because of in childhood there was abuse, and there were things that were not okay for her, and it impinged her way to love and to relate. She also said, how do I put this? She also said that she knows that you loved her, and that there is no guilt. There's nothing you could have done that would have erased what happened to her. And she feels that you carry that with you. And she's telling you all she sends you is love, and all she sends you is grace. And she said, you have to tell him to give himself some grace, because I don't think you do, John. And it's interesting because something probably went on in your life at one point that has you go towards certain people in your life. And that's something that we all do, right? Like we go towards, like, my brother likes strong women because my mother was strong and I was strong. So something in your childhood shapes you as men, and something in your childhood shaped you as the man you are. And it's interesting because if she wasn't so broken, right, you'd probably still be together, and she probably would not have passed on. So she was young when she passed, and it seems like there was almost something when she did die with the breath, like it was like she couldn't catch her breath. So to me, that seems like it's, either she took her own life or something else happened. But
she hung herself.
She hung herself from the breath. Okay, she couldn't catch the breath. That makes sense. She also wants you to know that you were her one true love, and that she does watch over you. She watches over your son, which is interesting.
Wait, say that again.
She watches over your son.
Really?
Your son.
He needs watching over.
Yeah. But it's interesting because she's also saying to you, she feels like you feel like I don't know, not that your life is over, but like almost like you've hit your plateau. You haven't, by the way. You're just beginning. Okay. So
I always say that.
Yeah. But you are. And that's the funny part. Like, what's interesting, John? Like, you're your worst, and this is what she's saying, you're your worst enemy.
Yeah.
You are, because like you're very smart and you're very creative, but you almost need someone to give you a kick in the ass. But the kick in the ass has to come from you. It can't come from anybody else, because it has to be self, motivated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said that was one of the issues you guys always had together is, how do we get there? How do we get there? How do we get there? But when you have two people that are, I don't want to say you're broken, but when you have someone that's broken and then you have someone that's kind of like, I need a kick in the ass, where am I getting it from? Right? It kind of can implode. And, her feeling for you is nothing but love. And she wants you to know that. Also, I see a very big abuse, and I don't mean drug enhancing, or enhancing drugs for your sport. I see an addiction problem, and this doesn't necessarily have to be you, John, but I see an addiction problem within the area that we're talking about. So it was a heavy addiction problem. Does that make sense for anybody?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Anyone else on the call? Were they dealing with someone's addiction or something of that nature?
We're all fucking
No. It's not about enhancing drugs. It's about like real drugs. Like somebody.
My girlfriend died from drug addiction.
Okay.
Well, Arman, you had a problem with addictive drugs.
Yeah, we all kind of have.
We all kind of, yeah, absolutely.
But you had a very bad problem, though.
I was going to say, this one is like almost like you could have died.
Yeah, that's Arman. Definitely.
That's Arman.
And Arman, where are you? Arman, raise your hand. Oh, there you are.
Right here.
So Arman, let me talk to you a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about what you call your grandmother. Is there a special name you call her?
I guess Mama.
Mama. Okay. Is she with us?
No.
Yeah. So, okay, that makes sense because we have her coming through. Were you close with her?
Yes.
Okay. She wants you to, okay. So when she passed away, was she in pain? Is that what's going on?
Like dementia and Alzheimer's.
Okay. So
she was old. She was old. She was almost 90.
Okay. So what I'm feeling is the body, she's going like this. Her body had pain, which would make sense if she was older. She's also wanting you to know that she never like left you. Okay. She's always with you and she's always assisting you. And just because you had this terrible addiction problem, is your fear that you're just going to go back to it? Is that because obviously that would be a rational fear, but she wants you to know that she'll never let you go back because she's always with you. She was even with you when you were going through all your perils.
I think she's talking about someone else, Arman, in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. Like I would never. That was the worst time my life was. So I don't even have the urge to go back ever. That was a horrible time for me.
Mm-hmm. So all I'm going to tell you is the reason you might not have the urge to go back is because she's with you. Does that make sense?
You're
because
right,
going from an addiction like that and never feeling like you ever want to go back there again, there's more power behind that than anything. It's not like you got scared, you overdosed, you went to jail. It doesn't matter because an addiction's an addiction, right? So
right.
There's always a higher power behind why you're not doing that anymore. And I think that's what she's trying to get through. That she's okay. Okay. Wait, sorry guys, shifting. Who was a chain smoker? Lit a cigarette, put the cigarette out. Lit a cigarette, put the cigarette out.
Hot smoker, chain smoker. Who?
Wait, you are?
No, not me. But...
She was.
No one smoked.
No one's a smoker. Okay, nobody in this room has
anyone else, guys?
Who's a chain smoker.
Are you limiting this only to tobacco?
No, it could be whatever.
Because I can chain smoke weed all day long.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. So back to John. John, does the name Rose hold any significance for you?
Yes, part of my mother's first name.
Okay, cool. So Rose, is she with us, John?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming Rose, your mother, her mother is gone.
Rosemary.
Rosemary is your mother. Okay.
Yeah.
And then your grandmother, what was her name?
My mother's mother?
Yeah.
Carmela.
I'm going to make you laugh. Can you see this? Carmela's written down.
No shit.
Oh my God. Look right there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And it was funny because that was going to be the next thing. Because when I get these pictures in my head, I had Carmela Soprano in my head. And I was who's Carmela? Okay. So so John, I'm so sorry that this is like the John show right now, but you really are probably the most open. So Carmela and your mother. So something's going on here that has shaped you. And I don't really want to get into your whole life here because it's not, I don't know if it's for public consumption, but the way you view women was very shaped by both of these women. Does that sound right?
Probably. I'm definitely my mother for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So your grandmother, Carmela, was she a louder woman? Was she kind of like very there and in your face, but like, fun?
She was, I didn't really have a good relationship with her because she didn't really have a good relationship with my mother. And I would like always side with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
And not that she did anything. She was very, very nice to me, extremely nice to me, but she didn't speak much English and she didn't speak the Italian that my other grandmother spoke. She spoke this Sicilian dialect that I could not fucking understand. And I just had a very limited relationship with her. She was a dressmaker in New York City.
Uh-huh.
But I guess you could say through how I view what do you actually mean by how I view women? My general opinion.
Women you're and not just attracted to sexually, I mean attracted to mentally, seems to be very precipitated by your mother, and believe it or not, and sometimes this takes a minute to figure out, by your grandmother.
Oh, absolutely. They were strong women. They're very strong women, hardworking, good work ethic, intelligent, able, multifaceted, educated. So, yeah, absolutely.
So here's the next message from her. She likes who you're with now.
She should.
Yeah, she likes who you're with now. And the other thing is she said, you're also able to make decisions in your life without second guessing them. She's like, you second guess a lot of what you do, which can be harmful for you. Not harmful, it's harmful for your career. Like your
I'm an artist. If I don't second guess what I do, I'm never going to do anything.
No, she's saying you do.
Of course I do.
So she's saying, no, listen, I never second guess anything. I just go first. So you have to literally, she wants you to know that basically stop it, John. Just stop second guessing yourself and move forward. And by the way, she smoked. So I love it when nobody knows anything, and I got to hear it from this one. She smoked. She smoked a lot, and the cigarette was like hanging out of her mouth half the time. So I don't know where the hell you were, but you smoked.
I never saw it. Probably at the dress factory. She was not fucking.
John, don't you know the Italian women are the sneakiest? My grandmother used to sneak it in the kitchen. She was always smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
that's funny because John, your mother's name is almost exactly my mother's name. My mother's name is Rosemary, and my grandmother was a seamstress too.
Both really? Wow.
Worked in a factory.
You didn't speak up with Rose.
Why did you speak up when she was asking about Rose?
Was her name Carmel?
Something else.
By the way, I have to clarify because I think Arman was in shell shock from you. His mom passed away from breast cancer. I think you were talking about his mom, to be honest.
Who?
Arman's mom.
Okay.
Oh, Arman's mom.
Listen, I'm going to just tell you, in a group like this, it's hard because typically I do one-on-one, or if I do a group, they're in my house, with energy there. So I'm only going to it's going to get confusing, and you might have to miss some gots this after a while. But the message is, write them down, guys, because the messages that are coming can be very relevant to you. The other thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to go away from all the moms for a minute, David, this is not you, but who played soccer?
Probably Arman.
Arman. Me.
Soccer?
Yeah, I played at a high level overseas.
Oh, so it's definitely you.
Say you were really good at it. Okay. What happened with that?
I was having Osgood-Schlatters problems, my knees, and I took a break to rehab my knees. I started weight training, and I put on 50 pounds over the summer, and then I got interested in bodybuilding right away because we took a trip to Venice, and I saw bodybuilders in real life, and then I fell in love with that look, and then I competed. I think the following year, and I started winning shows and left soccer behind, which was stupid. And
I didn't even know you played soccer.
Yeah, my uncle played professional for Iran. My dad played semi-pro. My brother played professional in France. I was on my way to turn pro, and then with the injuries, and I got into bodybuilding. I didn't know anything about bodybuilding. I thought we made money. That's
why I stopped doing it. Let me ask you a question. Does the name Linda mean anything to you?
This is my mom's friend. My dad's friend. We grew up with a family business, and Tex-Mex restaurant. It was open the year I was born, and my dad sold it like 5 years ago, I think. And I managed it, and then after I left, he got her to manage it. So and then they're still really close friends.
Okay. Anything romantic there or no? Just friends?
No, just friends. Yes.
Okay. And then what was your mother's name, Armand? Because for some reason I'm not getting it.
Beverly.
Okay. Okay. She died from breast cancer, which makes sense. Not that it's okay.
The fact that you got Carmelo was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wrote it down. By the way, Jimmy Nicole, welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Yeah, sometimes I get names, sometimes I don't. So I just want to touch on the side. Hi.
My sister.
Hi. How are you, Bubby? I just want to touch on the soccer. And there's a reason it came up, and I had to say not you, David, because he played soccer. So I was like, it's not has nothing to do with you, Arman. The soccer, I know you feel like it was not, I don't know, however you want to put this, like you should have kept it going, but your mom is coming through very clearly saying, no, your life took the turn and the trajectory that it was supposed to. And that for you to even think about the past is doing a disservice to yourself. She wants you to know that moving full speed ahead is what you should and are going to be doing. And there's a lot coming for you. I don't know if it's already happening, but like there's a lot business-wise coming from you, and there's a lot creatively that you're doing. And you are going to be on a good, what's the word? No, not even that. On a good, like, I want to say like a good upward spiral. And you're going to make money, but you're going to make real money.
I got to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
I just got this.
Hold on.
What is it?
Hold on. Let me zoom.
The magazine?
Oh my God. That's so weird.
Ooh!
Shelly and you. Who sent that to you?
Ooh! Shelly sent it.
Bill Heron.
Holy mackerel.
Well, Bill may have
How
sent
about
it. Shelly sent it because Spirit has.
She sent it, right? Not Bill.
Yes. Spirit has all the electronics in the world. That's how they communicate. If your lights flicker, if you get weird messages, if the song comes on the radio. So that's her confirming that that was her who was talking to you, John, which is very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
That's whack.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, but Arman, so seriously, you have a lot coming to you and it's all good. And she wants you to know that she's there with you every step. Let me ask you something, Arman. Were you young when she passed away? Or this was recent?
No, I just turned 40 not too long ago. I was 31.
Oh, well, that's very young. Of course that's young.
Yeah, she was young. She was like 58.
Yeah. She wants you to know that it looks like you had a very close relationship with her, but I don't know. But at least that's what she's portraying to me. And she said she's with you and she's always with you. And that if something gets hard or tough, she's right there.
Yeah.
And she also wants you to know when you feel a chill down your spine, you're not getting sick. That's her embracing you.
Wow.
So know that.
Do you ever feel that?
What?
Do you ever feel that? Chill down your spine?
No, I mean, it was like, no, it was hard when she was sick. I took care of her the last year. So, she was ready to go. She was happy. So, she was fine with it. We didn't have, of course we weren't fine, but.
Yeah.
Well, she embraces you often. So again, if you ever feel a chill, it's her.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was withdrawing from the opiates, I got chills everywhere.
Well, it might not have been from the opiate.
I think it was.
Yeah, it's hard to receive sometimes when you're not ready to receive. But Armand, at some point, and she's saying this to me, you'll be very ready to receive the information. And when you are, she's volunteering me. Thanks, I'm here. She's like let him know you're here. Let him know you're here. Okay, I'm here. All right, great. So anyways, one of the biggest things also that's coming through, and I don't know who this is. Can someone talk to me about a fire?
I set them all the time.
It could have been.
Everyone burning this weekend.
Did you really?
Huge, yeah.
Yeah. John, you're really taking over this whole reading. So
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think honestly you're probably the most open. So the fire is
He's probably high right now.
What happened?
He's probably high right now. He's really open.
No, who knows? Well, it's funny you say that because the fire, I want you to be very careful because I'm getting information that it could go larger than you first wanted it to. So be very careful when you're setting your whatever you're doing, your bonfires.
Oh, I've done that before. Fire department's been here several times.
Well, maybe you should heed that advice, John.
Well, absolutely, but shit's got to burn. Like.
Listen, I get it. It's got to burn, but I'm just telling you, be very careful because we don't want to burn the house down. Okay.
Oh, gee. John's a pyro.
Bad, certifiable.
Somebody take me somebody's going on a trip. Okay, so all right, who's going to Mexico? Who's been to Mexico? Either you're going or it's recent.
Two people.
Oh my God, John,
Larry is a Mexico person too.
Yeah,
Larry.
Larry.
Yeah, but not anytime recently. Not recently. No.
He's not planning on going back.
No.
Well, something happened in Mexico.
Yeah, that's
That always happens in Mexico.
All I'm going to say, and Larry, if this equates to you, you want to be careful.
Yeah.
I don't want to say more than that.
I don't go to Mexico anymore, so I'm not worried.
I was in Mexico. I was in Mexico before I got clean. And then I'm also going to Mexico to do stem cell. I was supposed to go already, but I have to push it back till April.
Armand's a little slow to the roll. I'm saying, who's going to Mexico? This one's hello. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a lot of
That's why we keep him around. It makes the rest of us look really sharp.
Yeah, Larry's definitely not going to Mexico. That's true.
Larry's finished with Mexico. It's funny though, because Larry has to be careful in Mexico. Armand,
Armand's got to be like code blue. He's got to be like on high alert.
Yeah, I was in Mexico, and I was with someone in Mexico that was just a complete idiot. And we're walking around, and it's like COVID time, and I'm like, "Put your sweatshirt on. You're too big." Like, we're standing out. Like, no one's walking around in Tijuana. It's like,
yeah.
And then so, of course, finally because he's talking to this tattoo shop, like he's gonna get a tattoo in Mexico, and I'm like, he's not gonna get a tattute there. I'm not even mentioning who it is. Everybody knows who it is. But and of course, 2 cop cars pull up and like search us, and they find my prescription on me, like it has my name, my prescription, oxycodone, and all that. And they forced me in the car. They didn't handcuff me, and they told me, give me $3,000. I'm gonna take you to jail. And I was like, I don't have $3,000. I wasn't going to give them $3,000, and so we drove past the jail. I knew we drove past the jail, so I knew they weren't going to take me to jail, and they were just driving around that little spot, Tijuana, that whatever, I don't even know the name, a circle, whatever. And I had a card, and it had I think $300 in the account I didn't use, and I showed them, like, they were using Google Translate. This is my bank account. You can have all of that, and that's all I have. If you want that or nothing. And they said, yeah, so got the money. I said, you're giving me my prescription back though. And they said, yeah, it's fine. And I gave them that. And we left right away. Well, my friend kept trying to get $10 hookers, and because he was doing the night before. It's like, let's go, man. And we got out.
Off topic. Too much information.
Fine. The hookers are fine. I'm going to tell you something. You have to be very careful, Armand. I don't know why, but it's interesting. You said put a sweatshirt on because your mom wants you to know that trouble just seems to find you.
Yeah.
He's like,
wow,
stop
dude.
it. Like, why are you like, stop? Like, what are you doing? It's always finding you. Why would you put yourself in a precarious situation? Like, are you an idiot? I'm not saying that she is. So you've got to be like super careful. And I don't just mean like these little Mexico trips. I mean, you got to be super careful in general. You're just going to attract like crazy, Yeah.
You
got to just watch it, puppy.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see.
She's good, Dave. She's good. I'm gonna have to do a one-on-one with you. The board's going off. They want to know all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to really preface this by saying, after 1994, I don't know who the hell anyone is anymore because I don't care.
Yeah.
After I was done, except for David, I don't even know what you were at one point. I was like, what are you doing? What you in? That's great. Let me come to the show. I went to every single show he ever did, but I was literally like uninvolved in everything else in the politics of it because I thought it was awful. But anyway, moving on. I just wanted to make sure we're good with time. Yeah, we're good. Moving on, I want to say one thing. I want someone to please talk to me about sight. Somebody had an issue with sight or blindness, and it's very heavy. So somebody better answer me.
Greg and Amin.
It could be mean, but it's definitely me, probably.
Okay, so talk to me about it. Why am I? And it's like I want to cry right now. Talk to me about this because it's coming on very strong.
That's why I have to wear the sunglasses. I have what looks like 2 different colored eyes. I have a giant pupil in my left. My left eye was an injury. I got hit in the eye with a wire that actually cut the front of my eyeball. And then, you know, I had to have reconstructive surgery. I had a lens implant. You know, they took out a cataract, or I would have had a gray eyeball from the injury. But now,
what about your stepson? I mean, didn't he have something with his eye too?
Yeah,
his eye popped out his head from one of the tumors.
Yeah,
his eye popped out of his head.
Yeah, it was
tumors in the eyes.
What's that?
He had tumors in his eye.
He had tumors all throughout his body, over 100. He had some that were in his brain, and one was behind his eye, and it was so big that his whole side of his head was getting like that, and then his eye finally.
So
I'm very eye conscious, by the way.
I want to address
watch
both
it.
because I want to address both because let me go back to the first, because this is definitely significant with the eye and the slice. Because are you blind in that eye?
I was blind, but I can see now. I've had reconstruction, but the problem is I can't. Like, I go from my house to my mailbox, and I don't put sunglasses on. I can't see when I get back inside because any light just kills me.
That's making sense to me now. So,
because it's a giant pupil.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the case, but you do have spirit around you. It seems very maternal. So I don't know if it's a grandmother or a mother. It's not very clear. But that maternal spirit, whoever it is, she's hot stuff, okay? And she's saying to me that injury saved you. Does that make sense to you?
Maybe. I don't know if I'm still fucked up, but
I think it could have gotten. I think your life. And again, it's your personal life. I don't want to
Yeah, no. I'm very open about it. Yeah, go ahead.
It could have really gotten. Let me put it this way: you could have been not here anymore. You could have been dead. So she feels that this actually saved your. You're supposed to be here. There is a bigger purpose for you. You just need to understand that, and she's very clear on that. And you have to understand that happened to keep you here and also change your perspective on life in general. And she doesn't want this to ever interfere with what your greater purpose is.
Mm-hmm. It could be. It could actually be.
Was that were you a police officer when that happened, Greg?
Yes.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. You could have gotten maybe
for a small period of time. Right, it was less than just on the 2-year mark, and then I got hit and
killed. You would have gotten killed.
Wow.
I might have, because I was a lunatic, to be honest with you. I was crazy.
Brad,
I was really bad. If I told you some shit, guys would be.
You will. You will one of these
Brad,
days.
I'm going to tell you something. Your life, if you had continued and that had never happened, you wouldn't be here.
Oh my God.
Maybe you might be right with that, because
I am right.
I was very
dangerous.
Well, if I told you some stories, even shit I did. Woof.
So, Greg, you have to wear the sunglasses then. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I do. Even like I just did that TV show, by the way. Nobody ever said anything about that, but we should.
I didn't see it.
Vice TV. I just did a show on Vice TV, and like I was sitting there, and they were like, you know what, put your glasses on, because I knew the producer anyway. He was with Antoine. No, because
put your face mask.
I'm like
face mask on.
I want to go back. I'm sorry, guys. You could party all night long when I'm gone.
Yeah.
I just want to go back quickly to your son.
My son? No, Joe is his son. Yes,
Joe's son. Yeah, with the tumors. How old was he when this was happening?
He was 9 when he got cancer. He lived to be about 10.
Okay. I'm sorry. I do want you to know that he was here for the short time, because I think what was happening, or at least what I'm understanding, is you were just questioning why would he have to be here and suffer like that and then leave, right? So he wants you to know he was here for a reason, and now he's in a place where he can be free and he is not in pain. And he wants you to also know that when he went, he knew that it was his time to go and he wasn't scared anymore.
He knows. She asked his mom if he could go. And then it was during COVID, and so she called us to the hospital. Me and our son, we went to the hospital, and we all said goodbye. And then a few hours later, he was gone. And she said that she saw his spirit bouncing around the walls, and he was happy.
He's extremely at peace. And then, do you have another son?
I do.
He wants you to tell him that he loves him and that he remembers the baseball. Does that make sense? I'm so sorry. But he knows how loved he was. And I have to tell you, you're a very special man. And you know what? You're just a good human being. And he is a very beautiful and special soul, and he will always be with you. And please let your son know he will always watch over him, and he is side by side with him, and he believes that you know that. Yeah,
I feel it all the time.
I know. But
what's the baseball?
We play baseball together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He plays where he is now. And he said, if you ever have a ball that goes far away, that's him throwing it with you. Yeah.
I miss him so much.
I know. If I was there, I'd hug you. I know. It's very hard. But and it's so easy to say to you, but for you to really understand, he was necessary. He brought so much to your life, and that's why he was here, and he still does, and he still wants you to know he's part of your life. He's never gone away, and he's just in a place now where he could run free and not be in any pain and see and love, and he's always with you. I think I might be wrong, but I think the chill that someone's feeling might be you, because he constantly embraces you. And if you ever see the TV flicker on and off or a light going wacky, that's him letting you know he's around. He's a joke. He's a little jokester. He likes to joke. Yeah. So, and he loves you very much. And he has also your wife. He has a special message for her. He said, "I really loved my cookies."
I can't talk about that. But before he died, he was allowed to have some marijuana cookies.
Holy mackerel.
And he thought he traveled through time. It was the cutest thing because I recorded it. And he was like, I went to the future and I don't have cancer in the future. I miss that so much.
Oh my God. I'm going to cry.
I'm crying.
It's like, oh my God.
I'm a wreck.
Well, I want to thank you for letting me share that with you. And I want to thank all of you for being so open and understanding it. And sometimes even if the messaging doesn't sound right, I always encourage you to take notes or write something down, because it might sound right the next time. And you could always text me and ask me, or call me if you want to. I'm my client, and I have clients that you text me 5 times a day. I'm like, yes, you're good. This is what that meant. But I will tell you something. One more thing for you is that there's a picture you have of him, and he would like it to be hung where there is a lot of light in the home.
Okay.
Just so you know, in general, spirit likes to be in a place. It's usually the back of the house because that has the most light. He would like it to be in a place of light and beauty. So that's exactly what he's saying.
Okay.
And there's nothing but love.
He was just the most loving boy. He really was. He was never scared. He never complained. Boy had all these tumors and was in all this pain, and he would just be out cold for days. They would call us over, and he would wake up, and I would be like, how are you? And he'd be like, I'm okay. He never complained, no matter what he was going through. He was dying in front of us, and he would always say he was okay. So I never felt like I could be weak after that.
He wants you to know that being emotional and understanding is not being weak. He's like, you're the strongest man he's ever known. And to show love and to show emotion is to be actually very strong. And it's all love. It's all pure love.
That's insane.
it's so funny because Spirit doesn't know where we are when we speak. So he's telling me, well, can you give him a hug? So then when I meet you in person, I have to give you a hug from him. I get that a lot when I have readings here, and I'm like, I have to get up. It's usually with the men, by the way, and I'm usually like, I hope this doesn't seem inappropriate, but I have to give you a hug. He's like, no, it's fine. They're usually like hysterical. Okay. So it's really.
Can I ask him a question if he's around?
Yeah, of course.
Is his mom going to be all right?
Why is he pointing to her right here?
She got a new job with a bow she wears, I think. Is that it?
Is that right?
Yeah. That's all I could think of for that area, unless there's a necklace she's wearing.
I don't know. He's going like this.
We're not together. That's what
she got a new job with a bow. He's smiling and he's saying, well, why wouldn't she be all right?
Yeah, I guess she should be. She was a very independent person.
Mm-hmm. And he's also saying, I think everyone should stop feeling bad and start feeling good.
That's what he would say.
And it's interesting that he pointed to that because I think him pointing to the bow of the shirt that she's wearing is probably indicating that, yes, she's on a good journey forward.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Some stability for her.
But he is very insistent that everyone should be happy and like not so for shots, you know?
Cool. Okay. Well, then I've got a lot to be happy for. This alone.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Again, I'm going to have to hop off, but I'm glad that I was able to.
Hold on. Since you're the psychic, Nicole, will Jimmy the Bull go to the emergency room today?
Wow. Leave him alone.
I can He's always going to the emergency room.
Reading for like 3 hours is what I could do with poor Jimmy.
Leave him alone.
He likes to go to the VA hospital, like he's going to play mahjong with his.
I'm going Saturday.
So Nicole, if you sat down with Jimmy, is there like a line, the people that you have to get through to?
Well,
he needs a session with you.
It's funny you say that because I was nervous that David was, hosting because he has a conga line around him at all times. It's like annoying, and I have to like brick it off. You know what I mean? So with all of you guys, spirit was coming through, but spirit that comes through is some spirit was stronger than others. Some spirit, like John, when she was coming through, she was like she was so quiet that it was almost like we were talking. We were talking with signals rather than words.
Because she's deaf, she was doing sign language.
Oh wow!
Wow, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then everyone else had voice. Oh, so that makes sense. So she was deaf. Okay, that makes total sense.
Nicole, I have a question. So when you do this, do you feel like? I mean, I'm Christian, so a lot of people are told not to mess with mediums and stuff like that. So, are you do this for fun? Do you do this for real, or?
No, I do it for real. And I do it because I have no choice because it got to the point where I couldn't not do it because I'd be in a restaurant and be like, I have to tell this person this. But what it is I pray to, St. Michael and Jesus Christ and all of that. And, every time after and before I do a reading and I pray that it goes, only the way it should and that we only have good come in. I sage, there's a big ritual before any of this starts and ends. How does
it mix? How does it mix though? Because I think it's like the Leviticus 19 something's like, do not seek out mediums or you will be defiled by them.
Mm-hmm. So I don't call myself a psychic and I don't call myself a medium. I don't advertise. I am completely by word of mouth, or if I see someone and I feel like I need to give them a message. So I am intuitive and I will be intuitive until the day I die. And I
think some of it's real. I think, people can, do that. And, but the Bible says not to mess with that.
Well, the Bible says a lot of things, right? So the Bible says a ton of things and we do them anyway.
But she's not messing with anyone. She's just telling you what they're saying, right? So how can that be?
Well, I mean, that's just my belief. Everybody has their own beliefs. Like her beliefs that, everybody has their own beliefs.
But what do you believe she's violating? Biblically?
Well, I believe the Bible, so that's what I follow. Everybody, like, I don't have a problem.
The Bible says don't seek it out. I'm just asking because I read the Bible, believe in the Bible too. But if they're coming to her, isn't that different?
No. That's my belief, though. Like her belief's different. I mean, I don't care. I'm friends with all kinds, but that's just my own personal belief.
I just don't understand what's wrong with it. What you feel, and I understand what you believe, the Bible, but where can't you do both? Can't two things be true?
I think Arman's trying to say that it's deceptive. It could be deceptive spirits. I think that's what he's trying to say. Is that
in the Bible teaches not to talk to the dead.
I have to hop off, so I'm going to leave you with this. Has anything I said been deceptive, or has it been
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying I think what Arman's saying is spirits sometimes could say, "Yeah, I'm your mother," because
they can be deceptive and bring evil into their life.
They can, and that's why you need to be careful what you do and how you do it. And that's why John got a picture of his person.
And I haven't heard from that guy in like months. This is like out of the blue.
You don't think he's watching the show here or not?
I think it can literally. There's people that can do that. That's why the Bible spoke about it. I believe there's truth to it.
Yeah.
But like when my mom passed away, I know she's at peace, and one day we'll be reunited, in the afterlife in heaven or whatever. I don't believe she can speak to me. That's my beliefs, though. I mean, everybody has the right to their own belief, but I think if you're Christian and that, you can't mix match the two. You just can't. I mean, you just can't do that. And
that's very fair.
And
listen, that's extremely fair, and it's not the first time I've heard it. So it's really what you believe in, what gives you comfort.
It's always the people who don't think they should believe, or the people who don't believe that get the best messages, though. You ever
always, all the time. But I do have to hop off. Thank you for letting me share this time with you guys. I'm always available to you.
Love you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
I used to go back and forth with one of my friends. He would do this, and we would get into debates, and they were fun. I was looking forward to it, but I know she has to go. It's 2.
That would be an interesting debate to have with a Jewish person and a Muslim Islamic person at the same time, because in Islam they talk about the jinn, and the jinn are these like entities also, and they could be playing trickery on you too. It's very interesting, though. I thought she was dead on with me. She was obviously dead on with John.
Yeah,
amazing. The whole
scary dead on. And then I got that picture, dude. That was
and you do smoke joints.
I was in a restaurant when I went to visit her.
And
I was in a restaurant with her, and with some people she didn't even know. Like, they were just clients of mine who had that spot, and she started reading them, and they were like, they couldn't believe it. She was hitting.
You guys remember that movie?
I didn't even know about this.
Is she your full sister? I don't see the resemblance.
No, we don't look alike. Remember
that movie, Dave? I see dead people.
Oh, is she
not my
grandma? I see fake natties.
She's just always knows stuff. She and I call it like
intuitive. They're dead people. They're people that are past.
It's intuitive. Yeah, I don't know. She can communicate.
Yeah, but can I say something? I went to a world renowned who was with Hans Holzer, who wrote the book and the TV show In Search Of. And her name was Milana, okay? And she was a world-renowned psychic. And when my girlfriend died, she hit certain things so dead on, it was impossible to. But then she was so far off with other things, it was. I'm like conflicted with that.
You know what it is, Greg? From what I understand from talking to her and talking to other people who I know are psychics, what it is the more you do it, the better you get at it. Because what you're doing is they're getting like visual, like stuff that has to do with their life. So she might see a picture of my grandmother who has the same name as someone else, and she'll say, "Oh, Ann. Does anyone know an Ann?" That's how she's getting communicated with. It's not always someone talking to her. It's like showing pictures. And so she'll say, does Ann mean anything? And they'll be like, oh, that's my mother, And then she'll be like, all right. And then that's how she starts the whole thing. So you have to be able to interpret the symbols, essentially, I guess. And so the longer you do it, the better usually you get at it.
I had this fucking psychic. It was world renowned. There's books about her. Name is Yolanda. I don't remember her last name. But she was with Hans Holzer, who's very famous with this.
Right.
You can Google him. Okay, he did the TV show In Search Of for years with Leonard Nimoy.
Right.
Anyway, this fucking woman hit on shit that's obscene stuff that you would never fucking. And she was dead on, but she was so far off with other stuff. I don't know what to think. Sometimes I think it's like what Arman said. I don't know if it's a deceptive. Spirit trying to I'm gonna fuck with you type shit because you're dead on.
You know what, Greg? Usually from what my sister tells me, she just can't control it. It just comes to her. So it's not like she's trying to figure things out.
Yeah, that must be crazy for her.
That's what I was saying, Greg. Like some people are, can do it, and some people are just, can talk about general
You ever
stuff.
asked
And
what
that.
happens to us when we die?
What?
Have you ever asked us what happens to us? We should have asked her that. She's talking to people who are spirits. We should have asked her what happens
It's
to us when we
obvious
die.
what we do.
Larry,
I mean, I thought you believed in God and Christian. Why do you have to get back at?
We talk to Nicole. That's what we do.
Larry's concentrating. He's talking to the dead. Larry's talking to somebody who's dead already.
I mean, I thought you believed in God and was kind of Christian and all that. Why do you need to seek that out if you believe?
But she wasn't seeking it out. She's saying that they.
No, why are you seeking it out if you believe?
Who?
You. Why are you seeking it out if you believe? You.
Why?
He didn't see anything. She came to him.
Why are you asking more questions if you believe in God and claim to be Christian? That's what I'm asking you.
What was he supposed to do? Not talk to her?
No, I was just asking, why was he seeking out more answers? Or he just asked, we should ask her what happens after you die. I thought, do you not believe?
I was just curious because if she's talking to people that are dead, that was kind of an interesting.
No, but do you not have a faith? Like faith is faith. So if you don't have any faith,
I do, but that still doesn't mean I want to know
what the truth is. The truth is that everyone would like one more chance to talk.
Wait, I want to ask Jimmy to pull something. I want to ask my boy Jimmy something because Jimmy, I agree with Arman. I'm a very spiritual guy. You guys don't know. Look, I wear rosary beads and shit.
Yeah.
I want to ask Jimmy because I know Jimmy's actually a very spiritual guy. He's a very, he's very emotional, and I want to know.
But he believes.
No, but I want to know what Jimmy's take is on this. I just want to know. I'm serious. Jimmy, what are you?
You're asking someone who thinks the Earth is flat.
No, but he's serious. No, I'm serious with this. Jimmy's very spiritual. Jim, what do you?
Jimmy, you believe in God. You talk about Jesus. You have a cross in the back.
I know he does.
What do you believe?
Spiritual guy.
Do you want my opinion?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you. Of course, I want your opinion.
Do you really want my opinion?
I know what you're going to say.
Please, Jimmy, enlighten us.
What am I going to say?
You're going to say you don't believe any of it.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
So
he's going to say it's written on the ice walls.
Just let him answer.
I'm going to be very serious. I'm going to be very serious on this. Okay.
All right.
Arman is right. God speaks of it in the Bible. Don't go to mediums, Ouija boards, sage, any of that stuff, because what happens is, yes, Dave's sister might be in tune with spirits, but you don't know if they're for real. So what happens is the reason why God in the scriptures, like you heard of Daniel, right? A very big prophet back in the day. Actually, he died, and then King Saul sought him out. He actually kicked all the witches out of the town, psychics, he kicked them all out. They were forbidden. But then when he was going to war, he went up into the mountains and into the cave, and he sought the witches out to raise up his prophet to find out what was going to happen to him. And he rose up Daniel, and Daniel said, tomorrow you're going to be with your sons, in the afterlife. That's what he told them. So they went to war and they all got killed. But the thing is, the bottom line is, they mix the truth with lies. So what happens is they'll touch on stuff that nobody could know because they're spirits, right? The fallen angels, whatever you want to call them. And then they know everything, just like God does, right? And they'll touch on that, and then they'll touch on stuff to throw you off. They might say, don't make that move. Your mom wouldn't want it. This, and then you might sway from something you should have done, and you didn't because you listened to, And I'm not saying Dave's sister's, fake. She could be getting messages, but you have to be careful. You just have to be careful. That's the bottom line.
It says, I'm the one, the truth, and the life. No one comes through me except through the Father. If you believe that.
Yeah,
if you don't believe that, it doesn't matter.
I do believe it.
But what happens when somebody tells you something out of the blue that is totally fucking dead on exactly right?
You're not listening.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
That's fine if you believe that. But if you mess with that, you can. If you believe in God and believe if you're Christian, if you don't, that's a different story. But if you believe
all I'm saying is that's what's coming out of her mouth.
Right?
It's irrespective of what I believe. So it's like I can believe anything, and she's.
I went to a world renowned.
I agree, John.
I went to a world renowned. Fuck this. It was like they wrote books about this woman. Okay, and I'm telling you, she was dead on exactly what Jimmy just said. Exactly, she was dead on. She was telling me to color sheets that my girlfriend had purple sheets. She was telling me about a ring that my girlfriend had. She lost in the fucking back of the wash machine and all. How do you know that? But then she was so far off with other shit. And I was like, oh, man, you had me going. And now you're like, it's like, So I don't know what to believe. That's what I'm just saying. I believe.
Well, that's how the devil works to deceive you, and he can deceive any one of us, by anything, and that's how the devil works.
It's not only the devil.
If you don't believe in the devil, it doesn't matter.
There's a lot of fallen angels that come with Lucifer himself. All right, so they're all out there in a different dimension, whatever you want to say. And people can touch, like Dave's sister, and there's probably other people out there, and they feel good about what they're telling you because they have good hearts, so they're not evil like Dave's sister. But she picks stuff up. I'm just saying you got to be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. I'll tell you my truth. You know what my truth is? And my mother's dead, and I love my mother. Like I can't even tell you, all right? If God appeared for me right now, told me to throw myself off a bridge, I see my mother, I would do it tonight, okay? But I think it is according to the scriptures. My feeling is that when you're dead, you are dead. I don't believe that people are floating around out there, your loved ones, and I'm not no disrespect to his son. I'm just saying that the Bible says when you die, you are finished until judgment day. That's what the scriptures say. There's only one judgment day. There's no such thing as purgatory. There's no such thing as a rapture. Like people are going to be, when the shit hits the fan here, everybody's, all the good people, are going to just like float out of here. They're going to be saved from the revelation, the tribulation period. I think that's all bullshit. What's going to happen is when you're dead, and that's it. When Jesus returns in the spirit, you're asking me this, and I'm telling you, when Jesus returns in the end, he's going to raise the living and the dead together, and that's when he's going to separate his people. If God doesn't see his son in your heart,
when is Judgment Day? After all this, right? Judgment Day is after Christ comes back and rules.
Right. When Christ is going to bring the Judgment Day.
Read Revelations. I mean, they'll tell you everything.
Yeah, you got there's going to be a 7-year tribulation period, whether you believe it or not, where the shit's going to hit the fan on earth, and that it says in the scriptures, if Christ don't come back, there'll be no flesh left on the earth. But he will return to make war with Satan and his dominions and the people who follow him. Right? There are people who walk around here, human beings who have no souls. All right, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in nothing. So there's only two things here in this earth. All right, you're either with Christ and God, or you're with the other guy. There's no.
Well, there's Jimmy. There's a lot of lost, but there's a lot of in between that's lost too, and that's our job.
What I'm saying, is they better find themselves before Christ returns. That's what the whole scripture is about. That's why we're here. It's a learning experience. We're supposed to come to God as we live here and go through all the bullshit, the pain and the suffering and losing loved ones and working your fucking ass off. All this shit that's going on. You're supposed to learn. That's what this place is all about.
Is there anything light and airy we can talk about?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you.
We're like so deep in the grave right now.
It's not deep in the grave.
John, that's all because he needs a colonoscopy. That's the only reason.
No, I mean, Lucifer was beautiful. Like he was the most beautiful angel that was fallen.
And look what happened
to him. So that's how he deceives. And he was over music. And you see a lot of secular music these days, like, persuading people. People are singing lyrics they don't even know.
Obama's smooth talk.
I agree with George. Not for nothing, but if people think that Lucifer's he's too vain. If Lucifer is in the form of a woman, he's high.
Look at last year, the halftime, the music from the halftime in the football last year. That was totally demonic, man. Red. People, that girl coming down with the wings coming down from the ceiling. She was mimicking Lucifer, the fallen angel. She did the whole thing. I mean, it's right out in the open now, and I believe that. My thought is, I believe we are heading pretty close to the end of our, as life as we know it, because it's all out in the open now. In politics, music, all the shit that's going on in schools. You're teaching kids that you could be a queer, you could be straight, you could be whatever you want. I mean, everything is so whacked out. It doesn't even make sense. You sit back, you say to yourself, what the hell is going on here? This place is crazy. I mean, I even see that on the road. People cut me off, give me the finger out the window. I mean, like, people are losing their minds on the street, too.
That's been going on for 30 years, Jimmy.
John, I have a question for you. I think I know your beliefs, but what makes you believe, like, I know this like, why don't you believe in God? Like, what's the reason, though? I know you have to have faith, and and the science and all that, certain people. What's your reason?
That I don't believe in God, or John? You're talking to John.
No, I was asking John because
Me?
you know, I like John a lot. I was asking John.
He believes him on. He just don't want to. He don't want to tell you. He believes.
I'll be happy to tell you. I
Did
don't
you
believe
get
there's an
about
old man
something?
in a, what?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't believe there's an old man with flowing robes up on a cloud.
Wait,
somewhere,
hold on, John. Hold on. Back
watching
up a
over
minute.
us.
Back up a minute. That's a BS image that man created.
That's what
There's not a God sitting on an old man with a beard sitting up there.
That's
not what the scriptures say.
I am saying I don't believe there is an old man with a gray beard and a flowing robe standing up in heaven somewhere.
I don't either.
Believe that. What I do believe is that people need a higher power to believe in such a way that its effect on them makes them want to be good. And so whatever that looks like to people, I don't have an exact image of it. I feel it's like a belief system and a sort of presence of mind where you believe in a higher power or a greater good, and that you comport your life accordingly to support the greater good. So it keeps you from doing bad stuff, and
So what you're saying, John, is like this whole thing was like a man-made imaginary story to keep people, being good. Because if you
what I'm saying is human nature is such that we need that in order to be good human beings, we tend to need something to believe in, and that's higher than us, that's greater than us. And to some people that's God and their image of God. To some people that's Mother Nature. To some people that's Buddha. To some people that's Allah. Whatever that is to you, that's your belief in a greater, higher power.
If you were a monkey right now and I had you in a cage in my backyard, would you be thinking about a higher power or anything like that? If you were caged up in my backyard, a monkey or an animal or a dog or a gorilla? No, I'm going to tell you why people feel that. Because God created you, and God said, let's make man in our image, which means that everything that God is, pretty much we are, okay? So we have the music, like Arman said. We have the music, we have love, we have hate.
What does any of that have to do with what I was saying?
What I'm going to tell you right now. So what it means is that you have this people have this urge that there is something higher, a creator.
I just said that.
Right.
I just said that.
Right. So I'm thinking that you're saying.
So you interrupted me to tell me what I just said.
No, I'm not interrupting you. What you said. Maybe I misread you. Maybe I'm thinking that people need that.
Let me ask you a question.
You never heard anybody say people are weak when they put people.
Let me ask you a question, Jimmy. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, ask me.
I believe in God. Okay, but I believe that everyone who believes in God believes in the same God. Why is one religion's rules, the right rules, and the other religion's rules are not?
Let me ask you another question. I'm going to explain that to you. Okay. So number one, okay, who's the most? And I'm going to ask George too, because George is being quiet, but he knows. Who is the most attacked religion in this world? Who?
Jews.
Christians. Jewish Christians now.
Jews, because they're supposed to be the chosen, the chosen people and all that, right? But Jesus changed that. So what I'm trying to say is that Jesus, okay, is the most attacked, a person in this world, right? If they do it through music, movies, I mean, it's all over the place. So it's the most abused. They don't go after, Muhammad. You don't hear nobody. You don't see anybody have a Muhammad up on a cross.
I guess you never heard of Salman Rushdie.
They couldn't do that. Like everybody bought Jesus.
John, I'm gonna tell you, one day you're gonna
religion has
answer,
its own rules. Okay, they have their own book of rules,
Yeah.
and I just don't know why one has to be right. Why can't they all be right?
Exactly.
It's
like Arman's saying. It's what you believe in. It's
Whatever
your
beliefs
belief.
are.
Okay.
Like
so
when they do music, they like rappers. They always mock Jesus. He's on a cross. He's on this. They're not mocking Muhammad.
Why?
They're not mocking.
Why? Why?
Because he's the truth. He's the way. So people are going to attack him.
Exactly. Thank you.
To fool you into believing other things. That's the way. you know, and a lot of people.
Let me ask you,
I have a
Arman.
lot of Jewish friends.
Was Lucifer here in the beginning when God created the garden?
I don't think any of us were there, so we really wouldn't know, Jimmy.
Dave, we got to start a new show
It's
called
in the
Gentle
scripture.
Thoughts with Jimmy the Bull and Arman.
It's in the,
Be a
it's in the
Christian, a
scripture.
Muslim.
I agree with
I'm going to talk to Arman.
Sorry.
Arman, in the garden when God created the earth, right? In
My
the
name's
beginning, right?
Arman. You guys always
You
pronounce
sound
it
like
wrong.
Archie Bunker
Arman.
right now, John.
What'd you say?
He sounds like Archie Bunker explaining the.
Talk to me, Jimmy.
No,
Talk to me.
it's
Talk
just,
to me.
it's just, Jimmy,
What I'm
you're
saying,
treading in-
you know, well,
he's
listen,
treading
this
in
is
a
all.
subject matter that he's not very adept in.
I agree with them both.
And we're getting Archie Bunker out
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
Is what's happening.
Well, I am.
Which
sort
is
of an
fine
Archie
if you want to
Bunker,
give the
but, yeah.
commencement address at Harvard.
I'm just voicing my. Listen, you asked me, and I'm just. You don't have to believe what I'm saying, or
It doesn't matter what you call God, what name you use. It's the same thing. In Italian, mother is a different word than in Arabic or than but you still.
It is different, Greg, because other religions don't believe Jesus was a son of God. So if you don't believe that, you're not believing in the same God.
I understand. Listen,
Greg,
I'm wearing rosary beads.
I've never
I
heard.
just want to explain
rosary
something.
beads here.
Greg,
Hold on.
come on. I just
Why
want to
would
explain
you
something. Hold on. What I want to say is that
My
there
father,
are many.
my father always
there's
told
many-
me, don't talk about religion.
No,
Right.
you're not supposed to. You really are supposed
My
to.
father always said, "Don't wear rosary beads."
I always wear rosary
I'm just
beads.
going to say one more thing here, then I'm going to
Yeah.
shut up. All right?
All right.
So this is my whole take on it. Okay, in the beginning, God created the earth and the land and all that. Then He put the animal, everything, right? And then He put man and then woman in this Garden of Eden, right? But Satan was there too, right? In the beginning, right? Wasn't he there?
It was a serpent. Yes.
Why are you asking Arman like he was there witnessing?
You
all
notice how
No,
he's
I'm
taking
talking to
Arman.
Arman because he
Notice how he's
knows
taking
the Bible.
Arman
That's why I'm
and
talking
read
to
the
him.
Bible
You
here.
guys making me sound like an asshole. I
Dave,
talk to
you
him
notice-
because the guy read
Notice
the
how he's
scripture.
taking Arman and Amin and combined.
I agree with you, Jimmy. I agree
I'm
with you.
telling what I'm trying to
They
tell you
combined.
now.
He's
Before I
got a
get off this
contraction out of
freaking
Arman
show,
and
I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay?
Jimmy, there's two
God
different people on
was-
the show.
the devil
One
was
is
there in
named
the
Arman,
beginning.
and the other one is named
And he
Amin.
muddied the waters
There's no
because he knew
Armin.
Christ was coming. He knew Christ was coming. That's why he muddied the waters, made all these religions, and the Anunnaki came here, and they were mining for gold, and they found some primitive freaking little ape on the ground, and they messed with his DNA, made him a human being, so the guy
you
could
know that
mine,
too.
so he can mine in the mountains and get gold and silver for the Anunnaki because they had to get back to their planet. It's all bullshit, man. It's bullshit.
Well, you would
hope-
believe that
Dave, we
because
better hope-
according to you, there's no space. That's right.
We better hope no representative from the NIH is watching this show right now, or they're gonna fucking carry Jimmy off.
I agree with you.
I'm telling you.
There is no space. They know that. People, the elite that run this world know that.
That's why there couldn't be aliens that came here that did that. Of course not.
No, that's a BS story too. The aliens are coming and all
Well,
that.
you
They're
know,
gonna-
I think aliens are
I was
Nephilim.
I studied anthropology in college, and I was an anthropology minor. And every primitive society has almost the same Garden of Eden story, only in their own way they tell it.
And a flood story.
Every single isolated population has the same story. It's just different names and different different
That's
gods.
true. And they all have flood
It's true.
stories.
How can it be that coincidental?
I just said the same fucking thing. It doesn't matter what you call God, whatever name. Each one of us have different languages, so we call our mothers by whatever the language, or our grandmothers nonna, nani, whatever the fuck, right? But what I'm saying is, you still the entity. I'm not the biggest Bible person, but I got to tell you something. The power of the Bible. How many people have changed their lives?
Absolutely.
Just because they did believe in it.
Yeah.
So it has power. I do.
I
believe
always liked in prison the guy who murdered 17 kids and put the cat in the microwave.
Right.
Now he's got 7 life sentences, and he's walking around with spectacles and a sweater, and
and he
carrying
finds
the
body
Bible
jail,
around.
but not when he had the
Like
girl
he's-
on the meat hook
like
in
he's,
his
like
fucking.
like he's become ordained as a priest.
That's fake.
Prison.
Listen to me.
The thing with prison, John, is you have to sit with yourself for
Right.
years and years and years. You go absolutely crazy. I was never in prison, pretty close to it, but you have to think what's the purpose of life? I'm stuck in this cell for the rest of my life And then some people are just like,
my point is, why didn't they think of that before they put the cat in the microwave? I mean, why is it?
Because all of us humans aren't good. I mean, it says none of us are good.
That's what I would.
None of us are good. We don't get to heaven by our good deeds.
Listen, God forgives sinners, not criminals. I'm sorry. Don't believe
everybody sins.
That I don't believe. I don't believe that God forgives. He forgives sinners, not criminals. I don't believe if you fucking rape children and you do sick shit like that and you say, I'm sorry, I truly repent. God, you know, just like if when you were a kid, if you did something really fucked up, you could tell your mother, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And she said, you know what? I forgive you, but you're still fucking punished. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just my belief. I believe that God sins, but not fucking criminals. It's too easy. You can't just get away with raping women, killing all these people, and say, I'm forgiven because I asked.
You're talking about violent criminals, is what you're talking about.
Right.
That's
what
what
I mean. Right.
Greg,
I want to touch on that.
Guys
Greg.
in prison that are walking around with Bibles, talking about how Jesus is doing this and that.
Yeah, and then when they get out, guess what happens? They do the same shit.
They're not getting out.
Some of them are real. Some of them are fake. Some of them are real.
Why weren't they thinking like that before they murdered 7 people? Why does it
we're here to learn, John?
Catastrophic loss of human life for them to pick up the Bible and say, well, maybe I should start being good now.
Because it's bullshit. It's a
I
trick.
think we're all
evil.
We all have it in us to kill somebody.
When everybody thinks they changed,
right?
They're evil people. They're evil.
And when everybody think they changed, when they didn't really change, so look at that guy. Wait, hold on. Look at the guy that just jumped on that judge. He stood before the judge. He said, I'm a different man now. I found God. Yeah. I'm different. I changed my life. And she's like, look.
Hey, play that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Shut the fuck up. Wait, listen to me. You guys, listen. She said, the judge said, listen, I'm glad you're a changed man. I'm happy to hear this. I feel good for you now. You got to go to jail. And you got to be punished for what you did. And he got so pissed that he jumped up there and he choked the shit out of it, right?
That was quite a jump, wasn't it? That was a hell of a lead.
But the thing is, he had her bullshitted. And that's why these guys, when they find Jesus and they find God and you're sitting around God, praise the Lord, Lord forgave me for the girl on the meat hook I had in the fucking basement. No. You may have everybody else bullshitted. You don't have me bullshitted.
I agree.
The minute you get out of there, it's like this. Because you can't take evil out of it. Once that evil's there, I'm sorry. A bad egg is a bad egg.
There probably are some people that are just, I agree. There's probably some people that are.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Look at that. That was a good job. You should be in the NBA or football.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Hold on. You have to. Wait, listen.
What a lunatic.
You didn't show the. Hold on, the beginning of that, he's talking about, I'm a changed man. I found Jesus. I changed my life. I live a different life now. I'm no longer.
Those are just words, Greg. Anybody can say that. That's the problem. Let me talk real quick. That's the problem with any religion, Christianity. That's why there's so many, people's like, there's so many child molesters in the church because that's a perfect playground for them.
Absolutely. That's the most evil place
because you're a preacher, you're supposed to trust them. No, the preacher's just speaking the word to everybody. It doesn't mean the preacher's good. That's why so many people put themselves in situations for trust so they can do the
Arman, that you just hit on the theme of the whole show.
Preachers are bullshit, bro.
You have to hold on. When the message is delivered to you, you have to evaluate who's giving you the message.
Yeah.
And if it's coming from a place
of you don't
love,
know, Dave.
Listen, if it's coming from a place of love, then the message is genuine. And you have to make that decision for yourself. No one else can make that decision.
Dave, hold on. Preachers are bullshit because I'm going to tell you something. The word of Jesus is free. Jesus Christ never said to the apostles, hey, do me a favor, pass around the fucking hat, get some stud old in here. Okay? He didn't say, well, these guys here, they want you to hear the word of God. Listen, but you got to pay $1,500 to sit in that stadium and hear that shit. Meanwhile, the word of God is free.
Right.
Nope. Jesus himself never charged anybody.
Right. But what I'm saying, Greg, is if someone comes up to you on the street and gives you a message, okay, and you sense in your heart that it's genuine and you believe it and you embrace them and say thank you for that message, it really affected me in a positive way. Then it did. It doesn't matter, why it came to you or how it came to you, but it was a genuine person giving you a genuine message. You know that something's genuine. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, you know what? I believe that you're in this business. I think you should sell your business and do something else because that was the message that was given to me. Now you have to say, well, maybe there's a, that in your heart, that's not going to feel genuine to you. It's going to feel like
Dave, you have to be, listen, Dave, I love you to death, but you have to be receptive to that, okay? Because if you're a closed person and somebody comes, so you don't think that angels and like God will use people also, like the devil does, to put them in your path? Somebody might just walk by and give you a message, then you don't even know the guy, and he walks away, and you're like, what the hell? He says, wow, and it touched you because you're open to that. Some people aren't open to messages.
But my point is that you have to filter it. You have to filter it yourself.
Only if you're receptive. Because if you're a callous person, you're not going to see anything.
If someone gave me a negative message, it wouldn't even make it past my filtering system in my brain. I would be like, who the hell is this guy to tell me that? But if someone gave me a message that affected me emotionally and moved me in a real good direction and made me feel something that maybe I was kind of ignoring, then I'm going to use that as a positive way to move forward and to be a better person. So I think that people know when they're receiving something genuine versus something that's
Can I say something, Dave? Can I say something? Yeah. When this whole thing started, I was really hoping that I was going to hear from Dave.
Yeah.
When she said what she said, whether everybody else what they're saying, all that put aside, it made me feel better. So
so you know it's genuine.
Well, that's all that matters.
I think that was a good thing. I would think it was beautiful. God bless you.
People want to say, okay, if that person's good, we do good things because we want to. You don't get to heaven through good works, so you get it through faith. So, like people like, oh, I helped the homeless today. Here, let me record myself giving out sandwiches.
That's selfish. That's selfish.
If you really care, you're doing that. You're not. Your God's watching you and seeing your good works.
You don't need to make a list. Right.
It's funny you say it because I just
videotape themselves doing good shit. I
just gave a guy a sandwich last night. I didn't fucking record that shit. I'm not joking you. And I was in a gas station. I gave a
How dare you? You told us, Greg.
And I gave him I had just gotten a Popeye's chicken sandwich. I hadn't opened it yet. I gave it to him. An old Asian guy. I didn't fucking record that shit and put that all over the internet. I don't want anybody to, that's not my thing. But people do that shit. People that do that, that's dirty fucking, that's evil. That's bullshit.
People are fooled so easily. They're like, oh, this person's so great. They're giving out to the homeless while they're, jerking off to kitty porn at home. It's like,
yeah, man. Yeah. That's all a facade to me.
To end on a good note, did you see that Netflix is actually going to be streaming WWE Raw next year?
Jeez, that's amazing.
$5 billion over 10 years they're paying for it. That's $500 million a year to stream the WWE content.
Wow!
Did you hear that Rumble?
That's changing everything. I'm telling you how we.
WWE's gone down, just like bodybuilding. All the WWE wrestlers are tiny. They're not even muscled up anymore.
Did you hear that Greg Valentino was on another mainstream TV show and did another one on Hulk Hogan that's going to be aired?
Yeah, give us the time so we can rewatch it. Where do we see it, Greg?
It's on Vice TV. On Vice TV.
How do you see Vice TV though?
Huh? It's on everybody's got Vice TV. It's on your YouTube too. It's a mainstream channel.
Greg, 90% of our audience just views the internet. They don't have I don't have Vice
TV. You guys, it's not no.
Where do you get Vice TV from? Is it on Direct TV? I have Direct TV.
Every Direct has it. Fucking cable.
Can you watch it on a rebroadcast,
Yeah, they rebroadcast it. It's on every TV. Go to Vice TV and
Smart TV. I'll watch it today, Greg. I'll watch it today.
Is it on YouTube, or something like that?
No,
I'm sure it's on YouTube. They put it on YouTube, I'm sure.
Greg, why don't you do this? Why don't you find where it is, rebroadcast, and take the link and put it on your Facebook page?
I did. I put it on my Facebook.
Oh, it's on there. Okay, all right, so we'll watch it from there then.
It's on Vice TV Network. They're also gonna have it. There was a Vice TV does the 9 Lives of Dave Chappelle, all these different Howard Stern. I did 2 of the people. I did Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I did
There it is.
Well, that's just one of a clip from it. That's
Right, well, we can't show the TV show or they'll demonetize us. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're gonna show me screaming and shit, and then I think that's the one by Frank Zane.
Oh, I saw the one where you cried, Greg, about your dad.
Oh no, that was a different show. This is
recent.
This is TV. This is not no YouTube video. This is TV.
Who watches TV anymore? What is TV?
Yeah, what is TV?
Don't you love that they call it TV is called legacy TV now? Did you know?
No, this is real TV. This ain't
Greg, there's a clip of this on YouTube.
I think the internet is.
Yeah,
I think YouTube is real
it's on
TV.
YouTube because I put it on there and Vice. But that's a clip.
The clip. It's a
not
clip.
the whole. You can't see the whole show.
Do they have an app like you can download the Vice TV app and watch it on there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah.
Why are all the wrestlers tiny now, Dave? They're all none of them are juiced up.
Because they can't take. They drug test them all.
That's what I didn't know they did. Do they really?
If you're getting paid $500,000 a year, do you want to fail a drug test and lose that contract? No way. You're not going to do it. You're not going to risk it.
They look like CrossFitters or swimmers.
Yeah.
It's like what happened to all these juiced up, wrestlers? The Rock.
They're a public, they're a major conglomerate owns them. That owns
It's fake anyways, Dave. It's not like they're gonna. It's like a combat sport. Like
I know. I don't know why they care. I really don't. Like I mean, you could be a movie star.
It's just like bodybuilding.
It's entertaining. No, it's entertainment. It's no different than actors.
You can be a movie star and take whatever gear you want, but if you're a WWE wrestler, you can't. Actually, you know what?
You're an actor.
During this whole deal, The Rock is going to now sit on the board of the WWE, and he was given they gave him his name, The Rock. He can use it now as much as he wants.
An actor. I think the Rock's so full of shit now. Like,
thank you,
Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Perfect. He's probably involved with some kids.
He's a
or some
fucking
shit.
Momo. You're out of your fucking.
He doesn't do anything wrong at all.
That's
The Rock
a liberal motherfucker.
And he's trying to sell himself as a future Republican. Watch it. Be careful.
No, he ain't no Republican, bro. That's a liberal in the name.
That's what he is, dude.
He's a liberal in the name.
He goes from one side to the other.
Yeah, he's a flip-flop.
He
wants to be a politician, I think.
Why have you wearing this the whole time?
He wants to run for president.
Wearing this stuff.
Would you vote for him? Would you vote for The Rock for president?
No fucking way.
No.
I wouldn't vote for Arnold either.
Sid, run a poll on the chat. If The Rock ran for president,
he's a puppet. He just does whatever he wants to say.
Everyone vote for Biden. He goes, I never believe in politics, but this is the first time I'm going to throw my hat into the ring and everybody vote for Joe Biden. He said that when the last election in 2019.
He sold out a long time ago. He used to be cool and
wait a minute. You know what I like?
No, is he not educated? Does he not see?
Larry's raising his hand. What's up, Larry?
Did you guys watch that Cat Williams interview? Did y'all watch Cat Williams interview?
Everybody saw Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Poor Larry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Larry. Larry?
Did you have something to say, Larry?
Well, all this religion
Is
stuff.
Larry an android or is he a real person? I'm trying to
stop that.
I'm only kidding. Because he freezes like a computer. So I'm just wondering.
It's his connection. It's not him.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I didn't know.
So this is my opinion, and I'm just giving my opinion because I know you all out there have your own opinions, and if anybody doesn't agree with your opinion, then they're obviously wrong. So
I don't think so, Larry. I don't think that's the way it
works.
No, I said everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Like I was just giving my opinion. I'm friends with everybody. I could be friends with a non-believer. I could be friends with a Jew, a Muslim.
All right, let Larry talk to him.
But originally, religion was developed way back when, before there was governments. So people had some kind of rules to go by, and otherwise it'd just be mayhem. And there was the first religion, which was a Jewish religion, whether you believe it or not, it was the first one.
Yes.
And they had rules, so people didn't go just commit murder and rape and mayhem and just do whatever.
Who started that religion, Larry?
Which is what they were doing.
Larry, who started that religion, the Jewish religion?
Abraham.
Jesus was a Jew, obviously,
This is way before Jesus.
King David.
Yeah.
No, King
so anyways,
David started.
that's how it was a set of rules that people should live by, so they didn't all murder each other, which is what Vikings and stuff did back in those days. And then over the years, other religions came and took that religion and changed it to what suited their needs, and some of it's good and some of it's not.
I've heard this before.
So basically, like, you know, you've had Christian religion that some say, oh, you know, it's all good and you're trying to save people, and the same thing, Christian religion has murdered a lot of people too.
The Crusades, yeah.
I mean, when with good, there has to become. I mean, you fight for, like the U.S. We fight for our country.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying that certain people in influence can take religion and twist it to suit their agenda. To
a lot of people twist it. Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, say.
You know what I think, Larry? I think that God left people alone too long. That's what I think. All right. I think he needs to come back, because we're like strayed sheep. You know, because what happens is when the teacher leaves, you know, you're teaching elementary school and all your kids are being good, right? And then the teacher says, "I'll be right back," because she had to go out of the way for a minute, and the kids are crazy. Right?
Everybody's people just do whatever they want to. Like, transgenders. Okay, instead of helping transgenders for mental health, we like give them a penis if they don't have one. Here you go. Here's a penis. Put that on you. You know, it's
now things are getting out of hand.
Take away the penis. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Does Larry believe in God or not? I want to know if Larry believes in God, because he was just about to say something. I want to know if he believes in God.
Larry doesn't. Larry said that it was.
No, he was about to say whether.
If there's one thing you can be guaranteed about this show is that when you start talking, Jimmy the Bull's going to interrupt you.
Okay, so
no, that's not true. I stay
every
quiet
single
for
one of
a
us has
good
gotten
part of the
interrupted.
show.
So
did I stay quiet when Dave's sister was speaking? Did I go my mouth?
Jimmy, don't listen to him. That's the devil.
If Dave's
I don't like religion. I don't like that term.
Who's going to read him, John?
If your sister was your brother, he would never have shut up.
Fuck up. I'll answer your question.
Wait, let Larry answer.
No, John, I think you're the fucking devil. That's what I think, all right? Now you sit there with that fucking beard and that fucking evil look, and I think you're fucking Satan himself. That's what I think. Because you take a group of good men and you make them start arguing with each other, because that's what you do. That's what you do, John.
That's my gift.
And then you sit back and laugh about it, because that's what Satan does. He gets everybody fighting, and then he sits back and watches everybody kill each other.
John looks like Osama bin Laden. John looks like Osama bin Laden.
What are your Larry?
Larry.
Let Larry talk. Yeah.
So here's my answer. Yeah, I believe in God, but I don't believe in you people telling me what God says. In other words, your opinion of what God says, because of your religion or what you think, doesn't necessarily apply to everybody. True. So yeah, I think there's a God that, you know, you should do the right thing, and you should do the right thing anyways, because you're just a good person, and that's just the way it is. But
Larry, that's what I was getting at before.
But you don't. But because some
particular
priest or religion or something tells you, you know, go do this, that doesn't necessarily mean God wants you to do this.
No,
I agree.
That's people putting their agenda out there.
Absolutely.
Look, Joe Biden says he believes in God and religion. He's an evil fucker. I don't care what anybody
says. Yeah, man, that guy will tell you anything.
Yeah, he'll tell you whatever thing.
He's a child
Just
sniffer.
like that evangelist preacher. That what's that guy's? There's a lot of them that's pure evil. Not Olsen, the other one.
Joel Olsen.
Joe Osteen, all of them. They're all full of shit. The word of God is free. When they start charging you $1,500 to sit in a fucking stadium to hear the word of God, you're ready. And they got to, like Larry said, they're telling you there, fuck you. I don't.
Greg, the Bible speaks to that too. There's a lot of false prophets out there. It's in the scriptures.
The Pope is a fucking
right here.
The Vatican is the most evilest out of all of them.
That Pope is fucking evil.
Yeah, he did the evilest. I forget about it. I think America is an extension of the original Rome. You know what I'm saying? And the Vatican's still in charge. That's
Jimmy, popes used to put people.
Jimmy, if the Vatican's evil and corrupt,
right,
and there's false prophets out there, how do you know who to listen to?
Okay,
that's why. Listen, whether you want to believe it or not, Larry, and I agree. I hear what Larry's saying. I'm not telling Larry what to do. I would never tell anybody what to do, because frankly, people are going to do what they want to do. But the scriptures tell you how to live a life.
Yeah, but you have to interpret the scriptures, Jimmy.
No,
Okay.
I'm
Everyone
just saying what it
interprets it
says.
differently.
So the scriptures say, "Be still, and you'll hear His voice." Right? That's what it says in the scripture. So if you have faith, or shut up, John. If you have faith and you believe, right, and you pray and you hear, and something will move you. The God's Spirit will move you to do the right thing. You have to be receptive to it, though.
I agree.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what if it's you getting the people, the spirits talking in your head? You just said before you don't know if the spirits are tricking you.
Well, you'll know, because if you believe in God, you'll know. You'll know.
Well, how do you know that the messages you didn't receive today weren't legitimate? Maybe my
The
sister
devil
was
talks to us too. The devil influences us. Look at absolutely. If I get mad enough, I'm going to go kill
messages
somebody,
are good and what are not.
Listen, the devil goes through people. Okay, so
Right.
like my
But so
ex-wife.
does
I've
God,
had a lot of
according to you, if you
voices.
quiet your mind.
I've had a lot of voices in my ears over the years. Okay,
You're saying,
through
see,
the
how do you
people.
know which ones are the ones that you're supposed to listen to?
You got to decipher. It's very.
God gave us common
You're not
sense.
giving anyone a very clear image of how to go about
listen,
it.
But Jimmy's going to put up a website, and you can ask. And he'll tell you.
If
You know,
you
John,
tune in on Fridays to the
you're very
confession
mean,
with Lee
John.
and Jimmy,
You
that's
are
how you
very
find out.
mean, John. You know that? I got to tell you, you're very mean. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I'm mean.
You're very
Look at
hurtful,
who's-
and you're very mean. I really got to say that, man.
It's
You've
like
been-
you got
been
the Johnny
bashing me
Cash
for
thing going
years,
on.
man.
You're always in black.
For
You're
years,
always
you've been
like ready
bashing.
to fucking fight.
Yeah, John's got white on. John's got white on. You got the black on, Jimmy.
Jimmy's always in black.
Maybe you're the devil.
Hey, you know why I'm in black? Because I don't like color. That's why I'm in black.
He's a racist now. He's a racist now.
Hey, Dave.
White. No.
Slim.
Art lesson for you guys. White is the absence of color. Black is the absence of light.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, Einstein.
There in the lower
What's
corner.
clear?
But I want to make this one little statement about this.
Okay, Albert.
Actually, you're wrong.
Every single
presence of
society on earth, every being, every person, every people on earth, tribes, people from other countries, everywhere, if the majority of them have some kind of higher power belief system, i.e. religion, in place. So it's human nature. It is absolutely human nature to want to believe in something bigger than you are, so that you have, like, I don't know who said it before,
Sanity?
the rules
Sanity?
to live by. You're
There's a
talking
worship
about
gene.
what motivates the greater good, because if you don't have the greater good, we're just all killing each other.
There's
So-
a
I got
worship
news
gene.
for you.
It's in our DNA to worship.
I got
There's
news
a
for you,
worship
John.
gene.
You shut the lights and get rid of the food and see what happens. All right.
Oh,
See what happens to the people.
The people with the most bullets stored up in their
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
are going to prevail.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dude, I used to go, it's not just priests and Vatican and everything, because I used to go to these sex clubs in New York City, and we'd have Hasidic Jews would be wearing, they'd be in there with the fucking baseball hat on, the curls would be up in the fucking hat, and if they took that hat off, you'd be shocked at the shit that used to go on. So
Greg,
it's every religion has
Greg,
most of the leaders
listen,
are evil.
I used to work in the strip clubs. They used to come in there too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
The bottom line is a man is a man. That's the bottom line. I don't care where they could be in the jungle, the Amazon jungle, anywhere. We just can't help ourselves. That's the nature of man.
Oh, I agree with that.
I mean, I touch on what John's saying. He's saying that most cultures need something. The Hindus, the Muslims,
All of them.
Chinese. Everybody needs some kind of higher power, whatever, to keep them in line. But I mean, I understand that, but more power to them. People need structure, right? I mean,
Well, but Jimmy, they also need an answer to difficult questions. Wait, we'll get to that in a minute. They also need an answer to difficult questions, like how did that mountain get there? Well, you want to talk tectonic plates moving, or flat Earth, round, or is it more easier to put it out to the people that God did it. This higher power built that mountain. That's how great he is. He can build mountains.
Yeah, but he's the one who makes the tectonic plates, though. That's just, it's all still the same thing, I believe, anyway.
It is what it is, but it is what people make of it. So there's going to be some people that mean they're going to interpret that as meaning one thing, and then there's going to be another group of people that are going to interpret that as meaning something else. And you can't tell one interpretation is right and the other one is wrong. They're both exist. So, so you have this diversity all over the world in every single culture. The interesting thing is the similarities, like how they all have a flood story, how they all have, you know, other various, you know,
because they all took it from one place.
I was just going to get to that. Holy shit. Yeah.
Well, science has all the answers, John.
Well, no, it's just a carryover from the civilization that was here way, 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 way before us. There was no written record surviving. There was only folklore and tales, and you know, if anybody survived at all, and you know, some of it was writing on walls. Who knows? But no, that goes way, way, way back to the prior. To the before us, who was here living before people who built
the poll's in, by the way. 87% would not vote for The Rock if he ran for
Wait, can I just say something about The Rock? Do you remember when, just to show you what a rat fuck he is, he was there with Nate Diaz and shit when Nate Diaz was fighting, right? And they were boys. All of a sudden, Nate Diaz lost the fight. And he went over to the other guy's fucking corner, was holding the guy's hand up like fucking,
pre-fight too, Greg. Pre-fight, he walked right past him.
Wait, hold on. That motherfucker, then Nate Diaz in the post-fight was like, where's The Rock? Because I'm going to go smack him right in his face. Because he was really pissed off because they're supposed to be boys. That shows you. That just shows
somebody told them what to do.
They want to be on a winning team. That's what. And a lot
he's with the elite. He's with the elite.
Wouldn't that be fun
anytime you got to become a
superstar,
rock star, you got to follow their program. Otherwise, you're out.
Right. I believe that, but that's
what he did in Maui. Him and Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Maui, they were going to raise money.
And they owned that property and shit.
Hold on. They were going to donate money, but then they asked everybody else to donate money instead of putting up their own.
But Oprah Winfrey owned the only property that didn't get burnt over there. Isn't that fucking funny?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
There was a lot of them.
Dave, you know how it works. Like, you know, with the commercials and movies, certain people get certain roles. So you know how it works. You sleep with certain people. You do certain things. That's how you get ahead in Hollywood. Dave knows that the commercials,
the music
bodybuilding shows, you know, with judges.
Yeah. I didn't sleep with anybody to get that on.
No. We're gonna wrap. I think we're out of time here. We've been going pretty long.
Hey, wait a second. Greg's wall. Look at Greg's wall.
What? Did he fix the hole?
He fixed it. Look it. He fixed it.
My girlfriend did it. I brought the fucking spatula and I was like, wait a minute. You fucking fixed the wall. I got here. Look, hold on.
It's still indented a little bit.
I was going to say that a while ago.
You know, Dave, you know how I knew something was off? I didn't go like this. Not one time.
I was pissed.
Greg, you got to fill that in a little bit more there.
I know that, but she just did it like with her fucking fingers and shit.
You got another tip. The tips are flowing.
What'd you do? I wanted to do it on the show. I was like going to show you, Dave, ready? And I was going to spackle it. And I'm like, wait a minute. What'd you do? She used her fingers.
You put a poster right there, Greg. Put a picture up. A poster.
You're welcome. Thank you for the tip, Stephen. I'm glad that we can entertain you all these years.
Wait, what was John about to say? John, what were you about to say?
I'll send you 25 cents, Greg.
John,
thank you.
What were you about to say just before Dave was talking about this?
That was way too long ago for me.
That was just a minute ago. You had your hand up. You said, I didn't do this or whatever. I don't know. What did you say?
Oh, I didn't go like this the whole show.
Because they kept... They're breaking my balls.
Like this.
Who's doing that?
No, Jimmy, he's breaking my balls.
That hole in his wall is a
because he tries to wipe it.
They kept saying because I had it.
Well, next week, hold on. Next week, can you get the spackle out and show us how you spackle that properly, and then sand it and paint it for us?
Yeah, the spackle right here. Look, I was going to do it right here on the show.
Momo box.
There you go.
Go. Yeah, do it. Open the spackle up.
Yeah, you want me to open the spackle? Yeah. Look. Here we go. Get a little bit of shit on that. Whoop! I dropped it on the floor. Look at this. My girlfriend. Hey, look.
Hold it up.
There it is.
Way too much.
Someone right. That's all we just gave it. Derek gave us $1.99. Say go another hour.
Right there.
I'll be in the loony bin if I go another hour. You kidding me?
$7.99 a minute.
Yeah,
$7.99 a minute.
Hey, look.
That's nice, Greg. I like it. Very nice.
Shaves his head with it.
Greg, you're hired. You're hired, Greg. You're hired.
Jimmy, how's this technique?
Yeah.
Very good, actually. I like it
do
because
the bottom one horizontally.
He's sitting down doing it. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. There
Greg,
you
you
go.
got to stand up and do it so we can see
There
your
you
ass.
I see another mark though. Hold on. What's that mark a little higher up now?
This one here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Dave, next he's going to get a sledgehammer out and say, fuck it, and just knock the whole
Yeah, wait, look. Look at that, huh?
That's a mighty big spatula, Greg.
Wait, I know.
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta go the other way.
What's he doing wrong here,
Make
Jimmy?
sure you get a lot on that wire that's hanging there.
Greg, I
yeah,
recommend a
there you
little
go.
smaller one and a little more
What's that?
flexible spatula.
Yeah, be careful. Press down.
Anyway,
I think he's wiping it out of the little hole there.
I think I did. I did too
Oh,
much.
another $5 to go. Another
Greg,
hour.
that was so racist. I can't believe you just did that. I'm going to get demonetized now.
Well, John, it's supposed to dry. He's supposed to sand it and then do it again the next
I gotta
day.
do it again. Yeah, look. Get it all in my hand.
He's doing white hand. Come on. We're going to get fucking hands.
Right hand.
You know what? I had it good until Dave said that. Then I ripped it again, and now I fucked it up.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Anyway,
John, aren't you supposed to leave it a little higher and then sand it down to make
I
it
gotta
even?
say, Greg, it's a good thing you didn't have to go too far to fix that
it's
hole.
to get flat. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what you wanna do.
You just had to turn around.
Now the problem is you're going to have to paint the whole wall now because otherwise it's not going to match.
I know it's a fucking walls out.
Well, you pick a color, you know.
Kind of white.
I wouldn't keep it white, man.
What room is that, Greg? Is that the living room?
Yeah, this
What's
is,
that,
I'm actually
what's that
shit.
line, Greg, on the wall? That
Greg,
big line.
all you have to do is staple
No,
the
this is
sheet.
this is
Greg,
to the
listen.
look.
Greg,
It's to the.
listen. I'm going to
Oh, the air conditioning.
All you got to do is right under the air conditioner, staple a sheet of green, this stuff right here.
Oh, yeah, like a green, like
sheet.
Green,
Green
green, green.
green screen.
And
What the hell is that?
and then the software will put any background we want in it. We can do bricks. We can do the.
Well, he can do
Paris,
it on his own end. He can do it. I think.
Yeah,
he
like
can.
I said, you can put whatever background you want.
It'll look like he's a ghost, probably, John.
Wait, I want to Arman. I'm sitting at the table where Lee Priest and you know the Lee Haney say right there. So Jimmy knows. Jimmy was at my house. Jimmy, I'm sitting at that big table.
I got you.
And you remember where Lee was sitting at the end? You were sitting there too at the end of the table.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's where I'm sitting. I'm sitting right there.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So you're off like on a bunch of like country and that stuff. Like on the country.
Can you see that?
You gotta start throwing a rave every year. We'll come like every once a year. All of us.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
Oh, that's scary. That's the devil, Jimmy.
Behind you.
There's your devil, Jimmy, if you want the devil.
Jimmy, there's the devil.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, Dave's sister summoned that.
I think all those statues Greg's got are really voodoo dolls. He sticks needles in them at night, you know.
Dave's sister summoned that devil to my house.
One day, John's going to get a knock on his door at 2:00 in the morning, and that statue's going to be standing outside his house.
Dave, those are because you keep all the tips. Those are the only sex dolls.
Give me a small rack, man. My hands are.
I thought the Bible said no idols. Greg's got a lot of idols all over the place. Yeah.
I don't idolize the guy. He keeps following me.
See, Dave does know some scriptures. Dave knows some scriptures. No graven image, no idol. See, Dave
that's
knows.
right. All right, guys, I love you all. I had a good time today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little psychic reading we had and the religious debate and all the other stuff that goes. Thank you guys for the tips. I appreciate it. The show loves it. Greg will get his couple nickels we got to send his way. I promise you. And we'll be back next week. If you guys want to see another reading, maybe we can convince my sister to come back in a few weeks.
That was nice of her to do that.
Yeah. Before we go, Dave, I want to say something before we go.
Right.
John, I don't think you're.
I'm listening.
I'm only kidding. I love you.
We know you're an actor, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I seriously, Jimmy, I think you should.
But you are a ball breaker. But you're not
Jimmy, I think you should let my sister do a reading for you, like private reading.
I got to know if your sister did a reading for me, she should never probably do another reading again. The entities that are around me are so powerful that they would just scare the hell out of her. She'd
Well,
she'd call you up and say, Dave, what the hell are you doing? Give me this guy.
Maybe she could chase some of them off, the bad ones, you know?
Well, that would be worth a try.
Jimmy, you're fighting the devil the whole day, right? At work?
You remember, Jimmy was just talking about the doing all this stuff and talking to the dead and everything like that. But he's the one who went for the exorcism, didn't he?
Yes, yes, he did. That's right. That's right.
Hypocrite on the whole panel.
You hypocrite, Jimmy.
Not all about that.
Listen, I got evil entities following me around. Shit happens to me out of nowhere. All right. The other day I woke up, and I'm not kidding, and there was a box on my counter. Woman's shoes, empty box, woman's shoes. I said, where the hell these women's shoes come from? So I had one of my friends lives with me. I said, is this your box? He goes, no. So where the hell did this box come from? It was a box on my counter, and it said it was a woman's shoe box. I have no idea. Nobody's here. Nobody knows. So I didn't want to touch the box. I took a long knife. I stabbed the box. I went outside. I put it in the fireplace. I squirted barbecue fluid. I lit it. I didn't want to touch it because I thought it was some kind of evil entity. This thing showed up in my house. I have no idea where it came from.
Thank God. John, thank God there wasn't a kitten in there someone was giving him or something like that.
Dave, right, exactly. Yeah, right.
We should do an exorcism.
You know what?
Like
You know what? We got to give our listeners perspective on Jimmy's life because
we should do an exorcism on here.
Yeah. Well, no, we should. What we should do a real life ride along with Jimmy the Bull. Okay. So we got to hire the camera guy to just stay next to Jimmy for one entire day because you got to see the dynamics of how one of these catastrophes morphs into the other. It's just like a snowball
John,
slowly rolling down the hill.
I got a story that I can't tell right now. Something happened to me the other day that only can happen with a demonic beings following somebody around like me.
Right.
It's stuff like this does not happen to normal people. All right,
Dave. That's what I mean. Jimmy. That is what I mean. We have to chronicle this because there's no explanation.
I had those witches around me, bent over with a blanket on my head. They made me spit in a bowl, right? And the bowl turned pure red. She said that I was.
But he won't get a psychic reading, John.
No. I mean, you've seen exorcisms like when you give someone ibogaine or withdrawing from opiates. That's like an exorcism. You're just like everything, everywhere.
I got issues on me.
Everyone's. You know what, John? Everyone's full of shit, and that's what I've just determined. Everyone has all their own theories about everything, but no one even believes it. They don't even listen. They contradict themselves constantly.
You know why? That's because
we're all
I'm not full of shit.
It means to be human.
I'm living proof.
I'm
living proof that there's demons around.
Because deep down inside, everybody knows when you're done, you're done. It's lights out, switches off, done. Black. Like
where does your soul go then? Where does your soul go?
You know, like how The Sopranos ended was just black. That's it.
I don't believe it. I think your body goes, but I think your spirit's still alive.
John, some people believe in reincarnation.
Eternal.
I don't believe in reincarnation.
We got to wrap this up. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next week. Thanks for the tips. We love you. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us.
Momo Bucks, George's Cookies, baby.
Go check out your Momo box at Captain Protein. Cookies.com.
Off, baby.
George, I love George, I love the video when you were dragging the bench around in a dumbbell. That was great, man.
Oh, you like that?
Georgie, take us out. Positive message for the kids.
Everybody have a good day.
Have a good one.
See you later, guys.
Take us out, Georgie.
Prayers, do the exercises, and watch RxMuscle and eat your Captain Protein cookies. And you too can be a superhero